Hello and welcome to another episode of Alex's Notes from the Middle. I am your host, Alex Light, and I'm just so happy and grateful that you're here with me again this week. And I am really excited. I have some things in the works, and I will be making an announcement later. So stay tuned for that. And today, I don't really have like a specific topic in mind. Today, I wanted it to be a little bit more of a casual conversations, things I've noticed, changing of seasons, changing of attitude with the seasons, and just being really real like I am all the time. Uh, One of the big things that I did have in my mind was working through doubt and like keep making sure that you keep going when you are feeling that struggle or you think, oh, is this worth it? Because, you know, a lot of times when you see people working hard through something, or you're like, oh, wow, they succeeded. How did that look? How did that process look for them to get to the point where they succeeded? Did you fail a few times and then you're like, oh, I'm just going to give up? Or did you fail, figure things out, and then work towards the success side of things? I tend to be a person, and perfectly honest here, I tend to be a person that I give up when it gets hard. I give up when I fail. And I don't like being like that. I don't want to be like that anymore. And so I just really want to find that within myself to keep going when the going gets tough. And there's been times in my life where I have kept going, where the going got tough. And then, strangely enough, when I got easy again, I like quit. And I don't know if I just have to, I don't know what it is that makes me need this constant change and this constant excitement and this constant stimulation. Is it my ADHD that causes me to be that way? Is it something else? I wasn't diagnosed until I was 35 years old. And so I've lived my whole life like not knowing why I'm the way that I am. And so it's really caused like a lot of strains in my life being that way. Uh, a lot of friendships have went by the wayside because, I got annoyed by one little thing and I'm like, I'm just going to move on. I don't want to deal with this. That's not how friendship is. Strangely enough, friendship isn't something that you just give up on because a moment gets hard, but I've always just kind of been like, oh, well, then they don't like me anymore. And I excuse myself from the situation. And then time goes by and they're like, well, we miss you. Where are you? Well, the going got tough, so I got going. And it's not a good quality to have. It's really not. I don't like, there's going to be things about ourselves that we don't like. And one of the huge, huge things that I don't like about myself is that I am a quitter. And I was watching this show called Platonic, and I don't know if you've seen it. It's on Apple TV. And they say this in one of the episodes where she is a quitter. And I'm like, well, it's just who you are. You just quit things. She's like, well, I don't like that. But she gives into it anyway. But I don't want to be a quitter anymore. I don't want to be a person that gives up when the going gets tough. And you know, I I know that that is something that I do when things feel monotonous. I tend to not want to do them anymore. Like most people don't want to do them. I understand that. But for me, it like drags me down to this level of like pure, I completely check out when something feels monotonous. And I'm trying really hard to not do that. Um, in a past life, I don't know if you know this about me, but I was a competitive power lifter and a competitive bodybuilder. And I succeeded in those things. And the reason, excuse me, I have an itch. The reason that I succeeded is because there was doubt from other people. For some reason, the thing that drives me the most is when people tell me that I cannot do something, and I think, watch me. So the things that I've succeeded the most at weren't things that I necessarily set out to be the best at, but I had to prove a point, and that's not healthy either. And sorry, let me readjust. Okay, that hurt. I gotta stop readjusting. I need to find a rolly chair. That's what I need to find, because this chair does not have wheels and I have to adjust myself all the time. Anyway, but I have noticed that I'm a person that when things get hard and the stability isn't there, that I shut down completely. I need a structured life in order to succeed at a lot of things. And lately my life has not been overly structured, and it really takes a toll. Like, it makes me shut down in the weirdest way. And this is something I don't want to give up on. I don't want to give in to the feeling that my brain has all the time, where it's like, no, you just give up. You give up everything. That's where my brain has been with this podcast, because it's like, no, it's been really hard for me to record like the last 2 episodes, and I've done the last 2 in the mornings. So maybe that's what I need to do, is I just need to wake up, get ready, and start recording, because it's 6:00 right now. And maybe I'm just my best self in the AM than I am in the PM, because when I get home from work at night, I don't want to do anything else. It's like, I worked all day. I don't want to come home and work. It's not what I want to do. And that's not how I'm going to succeed in life, in this business. Like, eventually, I do want this to be something that I do full time, and that will make it so much easier to have a set schedule and to make sure that I am following through and making those promises to myself, and not saying, you know what, you're a quitter. You quit things. I mean, I have quit almost everything in my life. I really, truly have. I used to love working out every day. I used to love going to the gym, exercising. I really liked how I looked. I liked how I felt. And then 2020 hit. They just closed the gyms, and I shut down completely. For some reason, I could not get back into the gym after everything opened back up. It was really, really hard for me. And I still, to this day, we are 6 years past it, and I still to this day cannot get in the gym to work out. Like, what is that? I've had a gym membership. I haven't gone to the gym in 4 months, and I have a gym membership that I pay for every month, because I gave up because it got hard, because I didn't set a schedule for myself. Like, I didn't have that want or that drive to do that. And I don't like that I'm that way. I don't like that I don't have the drive to keep going. And it's not out of laziness, because I don't like being that way. It's like, I'd rather sit on the couch. I actually wouldn't rather sit on the couch. It's just that my brain, I get home and it's shut down. Like, I don't know how people keep going every day. Like, my parents are a couple of the hardest workers that I know, and they will work all day long. And then at night they'll be like, yeah, well, we worked on the house till 9:00 last night. How do you do that? Where is that? Why didn't I get that gene? My sister's that same way. She works all day and then she'll go home and she'll do all this stuff. I'm like, man, I'm tired when I get home, and I don't have the drive when I get home. And I'm like, where's that at? I want to do this podcast. I want to have my life coaching business. I really want those things. But I get home at night and I want to shut down. Like my body is like, you want to rest. I don't want to cook when I get home. I don't want to clean when I get home. I don't want to work on this when I get home. I just like to sit and relax. And then part of me is like, I feel really guilty for just wanting to sit and relax. And people are like, oh, you deserve the rest. You deserve this, you deserve that. Is that how dreams come true? Is by going to a job all day long and then coming home and not working on your dream? That's not how dreams come true. Dreams don't come true by you laying in bed and manifesting. Dreams come true by you manifesting, believing that it's for you, and working towards it. You have to work towards it. You have to put yourself out there. You have to put steps in place in order to get that success. You have to. And I know that. I am well aware of that. But for some reason, I get home and I don't want to do anything. I'm a morning person too. Like I already said that this morning. Like I'm doing this one again in the morning. I am more productive before 8 a.m. than most people are all day because I am a morning person. When I was in college and I did go to school and I was doing well, the classes that I did the best at were my 7:30 a.m. classes. I am not a nighttime person. It's really hard for me, and I'm fighting through this huge struggle inside of me to like keep doing what I'm doing after I'm home from work. Like maybe it'll get easier when I have just my life coaching that I'm working on, but I have to work on it now, and I have to be constant and conscious of it now in order to be able to make it what I want to do for the rest of my life. You know, I do want to do this. I do want to be a life coach. I do want to continue to do this podcast. I do want to do all of these things. You know, I would love to go and give presentations. I would love to be able to put myself out there and meet people that are on the same genuine like energy levels that I'm at and everything. But it makes it really hard to put yourself out there when you're working 8 to 5 and then you come home and you're like, well, I'm tired. Like my brain is shot from working all day, or, you know, I sat in an office all day. I'm tired. I don't want to do anything. And I start to understand why so many people of my generation like go out to the bar, because it's easy. Like you're still technically doing something. You're going out, you're being social, everybody's there, and it's easy. You go, you sit, other people show up, you chat. It's not, you don't have to put in a lot of effort to go to a bar and hang out with people. But you do have to put in effort when you decide that you want to follow your dream. You have to put in the effort to take the classes, to study hard, to put yourself out there so people know that you exist, to constantly make sure that you are uh, fostering that dream and continuing to work hard at it. And when I get home from work, I'm like, well, I want to hang out with my son. And I do. I just don't have him Wednesdays, Thursdays, but like I want to hang out with him. Or when Eric's here, I'm like, I want to hang out with him. I don't want to come home and work. And it's like, I need to focus and I need to work now so I can have the freedom to be able to do the things that I want to do later. Like, and some people are like, well, no, you shouldn't do that. You know, you're working yourself to the brim. You're doing this, you're doing that. Well, yeah, but how short-lived is that? You have to put in the work now in order to have your dream life that you want later. And you have to believe in yourself and know that it's going to happen. Nobody got their dream by sitting on the couch watching Frasier. Although I did finally finish Frasier again. I finished the series last night. So anyway, but I need to work through my doubt. I need to keep going, even though it's hard. I need to not lose this passion that I have for it. And I don't know how to do that. I know I'm going to, I'm here to try to foster other people's dreams. I'm here to help other people work through it, but it's so easy to sit down and help other people and support other people and be there for other people and help them through their things and tell them that they're worthy, tell them that they are going to get that, tell them that they will find their love of their life and all of these things, and that they will follow their dreams for the rest of their life. But it's really hard to tell that to yourself. And I've said it before, therapists need therapists. Life coaches need life coaches. Like, I do need sometimes that person to be like, you got this. And I do have that. I do have that with Eric, very much so, because even last night he's like, well, aren't you going to record your podcast? I'm like, yes, I really do need to. And I do want to. It's just last night I really didn't want to do anything. I did lay on the couch for like 3.5 hours last night and did nothing. I ate a taco. Yeah, I barely ate dinner. I watched TV. Like, I vegged out really hard last night. And I woke up this morning and I was like, I wasted so much time. That's how I felt. And I know somebody's going to say, oh, well, you just needed the rest. But I really didn't. That's an excuse that you give people to make them feel better about their shitty choices. Oh, well, you deserved that break. You needed that break. I did not need that break. I really did not. What I needed to do was work on my side hustle that I'm getting ready to work on. I needed to record my podcast. I needed to research things. I needed to do meditation. I probably should have worked out. There were things that I should have done when I got home that I didn't do that would have really helped me improve my life in a different way. But had that not happened last night, I also wouldn't have this episode to talk to you about today. So I do think about that as well, where it's like, well, now I have tonight. I today was hoping to release actually a t-shirt brand. So I am creating a merch line. That was my announcement. I am in the process of creating a merch line for Alex's Notes from the Middle, things that are said during the podcast, or, I will announce it later once I get the shirts in order that I want to do, because I'm designing them myself as well. So I'm designing these shirts myself, and I'm trying to get that put together. And I was going to announce it today. I was going to announce I was going to release them. Here's my website. Here's everything. I'm not ready for that. But I am ready to tell you that I do have designs done. I have 2 or 3 designs done, and I'm going to have more by the time I get to the weekend. But I didn't take the time that I had when I was traveling this past weekend to work on them. I didn't. And I should have. I was sitting in a car for 10 hours. Why was I not working? Why was I not utilizing that time? For most of it, it was dark out anyway. I couldn't sightsee. I couldn't see what was going on. And it was nice sitting there listening to music with Eric while he was driving, but I was just sitting there. I could have still continued conversation with him, and I still could have listened to music while I was putting these designs together, but I didn't. I put my computer in back and I thought, I just don't feel like doing this. Why did I not feel like doing that? Don't I want to harness my dreams? Don't I want to be able to work towards my dreams? Am I going to do that by just sitting there going, no, I'm not. And I know that, and I need to be better about it within myself. I need to work through the doubt. I need to keep going when it's hard. And I know that I have this tendency to give up, and I have, when things are hard or things are monotonous, I'm like, I don't want to do them anymore. Why am I like that? I don't know, and I don't like it, and I don't want to be like that anymore. So I'm going to affirmation myself right now. I am a hard, consistent worker. I am worthy of my dreams, and I work hard towards my goals. And I'm going to write that down later too. I am a hard, consistent worker. I am worthy of my dreams, and I work hard for my goals. Because I am. I'm worthy of my dreams. I should fight for my dreams. I want my dreams. I want this podcast to take off. I really freaking do. I want my merch line to take off because I think it would be really great for people to walk around reading shirts that are uplifting, because that's what it's going to be. It's going to be uplifting things that you see, and it makes you feel joy. It makes you feel happiness. That's what I want to put out there in the world. I want to put out joy. I want to put out happiness. I want to put out my full authentic self, like I say all the time. And part of being my authentic self is telling you about my struggles. And my struggle is that my consistency is a real big problem. I completely shut down. Like, I get overstimulated and I shut down. I get in my head, I shut down. I am a shutter downer, and I am not going, you know what? I'm going to rephrase that, because that is not how we should talk to ourselves. I, in the past, have been a person who has shut down. I am no longer going to be that person in my future. I'm going to be the person in the future who works hard towards my goals. I'm going to be that person in the future that works hard towards my dreams, that wants my dreams, that is going to have my dreams come true. And I'm going to take the people that I love on this journey with me. Because when my dreams come true, I am able to give Graham the life that I think that he deserves. I will be able to send him off to space camp. I will be able to send him off to do all of these things. I can take time off during the summer to take him on a trip, to take him to those places he's wanted to see. I will be able to take time off and go vacation with Eric when he has time off work and he wants to go. I am worthy of my dreams, and I am working hard to make my dreams come true, so that way those people who are in my life can have their dreams come true as well. Because through me, I want to help Graham. I want to help Eric. I want to be there for my loved ones, and to not have the everyday stress of, am I going to be able to do this today or this? Will I get to go on that vacation? Well, I want to not stress about that. Nobody wants to stress about that. So I'm working hard towards my dream, and my dream will come true, because I am no longer a person who quits. I am no longer a person who stops when it gets hard. I am no longer the perfectionist who needs everything to be perfect or I completely shut down. I am going to be the person, and I am the person that's going to work hard to succeed, to harness my dreams, to harness my goals, and to make the life that I've always wanted to live. That felt good. Whew. I need to breathe. Let's take a drink of water. If you have a water, drink it. It's part of my goals. I downloaded this app. I'm not sponsored by anything right now. I'm not big enough for that yet, guys, but I will be someday. So right now, when I tell you about stuff, it's not sponsored. Download an app called Water Llama, and it's literally this llama. And as you drink, you add water to it, and then it lights up, and it's like this really colorful, cool llama. So I'm focusing on drinking my water, because we are like 70% water or something like that. I always get on here and chat without looking up any statistics. So I'm like, I think that that's what I remember that we are. You know what? I have my computer in front of me. Why don't we look together? What? Ooh. The human body is composed of approximately 60% water. It says this percentage can vary based on age, gender, and body composition, and infants have a higher water content, around 75 to 78%. So we are 60% water. So make sure you're drinking your water. I want to start a water challenge, and nobody has been wanting to do a water challenge with me. So if somebody wants to do a water challenge, you let me know, because I'm ready for my goals, my dreams to come true, and I'm ready to hit the ground running. I woke up this morning in a completely different mindset than I have been previously, where it's like, yeah, things are going to fall into place. Things are going to do this. Things are going to do that. It's like, no, they're really not if I don't put myself out there and if I don't work towards it. Like, come on, let's be real. When you manifest you manifest, right? You say, I am. The phrase is always, I am. I am a successful life coach who runs a successful podcast, who is living a life free of the stress of money with an abundant bank account. I am conscious about my health. I am hydrated. I am healthy. I eat with a purpose. Food is fuel, by the way, if you've not heard that before. Obviously, food is fuel, but there's a lot of people who eat just to eat, but you should eat with a purpose. That's going to be part. Oh, I'm not going to go on a whole personal training thing with you because I can go off on some really long rants about exercising, about making sure you're fueling your body with good things, what I feel works best, but everybody's going to have their own opinion on what diet they think works best, this or that. I will tell you for myself, I am a macros person. You can't deny yourself the tasties because you can't deny yourself those little life pleasures and punish yourself when you have them either. So that's the only talk I will give you. I'm a macros person, and the only time I'm not going off on that because I'll keep going. I don't want to do that. I'm not going to. Anyway, but I am healthy. I am happy. I am consistent. Healthy, happy, consistent. I am a consistent person. I consistently show up for my friends. I consistently show up for my company. I consistently show up for my son and my partner. That is how it should be. I want to consistently do these things. So I am working towards my dream currently, which I am a successful life coach. I am a successful podcaster. I am successful in relationships, abundance, confidence. There you go. I also am not going to be afraid about bombarding people on my socials. I had been worried about that previously. My son, like I said last week, is in this competition, and I did find out we can actually talk about it in the media. So my son is in the running for America's Favorite Student, and I am really proud of him. He's been number one in his group for the past 3 weeks. Yeah, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. And so I think it's really great. I know he'll be like, "Hey mom, can we go do a photo shoot?" I'm like, "Yeah, bud, we can do a photo shoot. We'll go outside and I'll take pictures of him with his telescope and stuff." So I'm really looking forward to what happens with that. And I've been focusing my energy on making sure that I post about him and everything and not bombarding people with my podcast, but also in the process of me trying to help him make his dream come true of getting to go to the Planetary Society. If he wins money, and that money is towards his education. So he was like, I would love to go to camps, like space camp. How cool would that be for him to get to go to space camp? I'd probably put the money towards a Planetary Society membership. I want to try to, when I have him, make sure that I'm fostering his dreams, but at the same time, I need to remember that I need to foster my dreams. I cannot give up on my dreams and push my dreams aside while I'm trying to also help him with his dreams. Like, I started this podcast. I'm going to continue to do this podcast. I want to do this merch line. I think it would be really great to see people walking around with these shirts with uplifting phrases and things on them. I mean, it would mean the world to me to know that others want to feel better about themselves and make others feel better too. Like, there was something that I saw on one of my friends' posts the other day. My friend Ashley, she always puts quotes up on her Snapchat. And one of the ones that she put up was about helping a friend to the top. So when you see a friend struggling, they shouldn't go alone. You can help them to the top. And on that journey, you're also making it to the top because there's also room for you. There's room for everybody at the top. There's abundance for all. From abundance pours abundance, and abundance remains. You can go out to the ocean of abundance and take however much that you want, and abundance will still remain. So just remember that there's always room for people on the top. So if I'm going to help harness my son's dream, I need to remember that I need to also harness my dream and work towards that. I can't give up on my dreams because he's going towards his. And parents do that a lot. We give up on our dreams to help our kids' dreams come true without realizing that we can have both. You can have both. And a lot of parents live vicariously through their children. My goal is to not live vicariously through my son. It's to let him have his own life and live my own life through mine. And we will go together on some of those journeys. So, yeah. I do, because I'm recording this in the morning, I do have to go. So I do have to cut this short because I have to go pick up my kiddo and take him to school, because one of my favorite parts about the day is that even when my kiddo is at his dad's, I get to see him every single day. I love that. I'm very lucky to have that. I'm very lucky to have a partnership with my son's dad. Like, our co-parenting relationship is so great. It's really, really great. Like, if I need him to watch Graham on a weekend that I'm supposed to have Graham, he's the first person I call every time, and I'm the first person he calls every time. It's how it should be. We didn't get divorced because of my kid. We got divorced because we didn't work. You know, why would I put my son, I was going to say kiddo and then son. And so anyway, why would I put my son through the pain and anguish and have a harder life because his dad and I didn't work out? That's not his fault that we didn't work out. Why would we make his life harder because we can't get past our drama? We're adults. Grow up. That's going to be my message to you. If you are putting your kid through rough things because you and your ex can't get along, grow up. That's probably not, you probably don't think that's nice, but it's not nice to your kid, and your kid didn't ask to be here. You chose for them to be here, so grow up. So I love my co-parenting relationship with my son's dad. It works really well. We're always the first contact. We're always at his events. We always put him very top in our life. But I always make sure to put myself first, because you cannot be your best self for others if you can't be your best self for yourself first. So you cannot pour from an empty cup. I think we learned a lot today. But anyway, I do have to go though, because I get to go pick up my kiddo and take him to school and give him a hug and kiss and watch him run through the gate. My favorite part of the day, because I love watching him love school. He loves school, and that makes me happy. So anyway, please remember, like, subscribe, share, comment, do all those things. I appreciate the love. I am a one-on-one life coach, so I will put my Calendly below if you do want to set up a strategy session with me. And I would love to talk to you and see if we vibe together, to see if you want to work with me. I will also put links to my Instagram, my Facebook, TikTok, all of that jazz. And then next week is going to be the launch of my merch line. I will hopefully, I'm going to see about possibly getting a shirt to show all of you. And I'll put the website up and stuff for that too, which is really exciting because I really like the shirts that I've created so far. And I really like being creative and having that outlet. So I will see you all next week, Thursdays, 9 a.m. At least I try to make it 9 a.m. Sometimes the upload's a little slow and it's not 9 a.m., but that's okay. So I will see you all next week. Have a great one. Peace and love. Have a great day.